Treyarch started when we first started. We were in Venice, California, two-story condo where we would run the category, Cat 5 cable out the window for our network from the second floor down. And that's when word came through from Activision that they had secured the license and that our game was now becoming the movie game. Why certain things happened? 6 months, not our engine. It's going to ship on this date. Get it done.
So 2000, 2001, that area. What was life like for you then? And how did you manage to get the job? Did you have to uproot your life and travel over to Santa Monica, or were you already working in that area, or just a bit of a time travel?
Yeah, I was living in LA at the time. As like I said, I worked at Digital Domain before moving to Treyarch, and Treyarch at that time, Treyarch started when we first started. We were in Venice, California, and just a little apartment, two-story condo where we would run the category, Cat 5 cable out the window for our network from the second floor down outside the house into the window of the bottom floor.
High tech.
With again, just 7 or 8 of us making everything. We had the 2 founding members of Treyarch, and then a small programming staff, and myself doing a lot of the art, and a producer helping with the art in those early days. I kind of lost track of where I was going with that one. We weren't in Santa Monica yet when we got the job of doing Spider-Man. We were in El Segundo, California, which is kind of down by the airport, down by LAX. And Treyarch had continued to grow. And at a certain point, we were doing some work with Activision, doing mostly ports. And so Tony Hawk, Neversoft's awesome. Tony Hawk game, awesome game. And we got to do the ports for that game. They would do the original PS1 title, and then we would do the ports to other things. And in that, we got to learn their game engine. Treyarch already had its own game engine. We had shipped games with. It was our own proprietary engine. But when Activision was asking us to port Neversoft stuff, we had to work with Neversoft's engine and just to bring their games to other consoles. And it was kind of we were port house a little bit during that time. And so we were signed up to do Spider-Man 3 and basically ported over, or not ported, but to do the Spider-Man version of our own creation. So
when you say Spider-Man 3, do you mean the sequel to Enter Electro?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, just clarifying.
Yeah, I should have clarified. So, we were, at that point, it wasn't a movie title for us at all at that point. And we were going to be using Neversoft's engine because they had 2 really great, successful Spider-Man games, or one, and then the assumption was that the second one would do well at that time. And but they wanted to, as a company, focus on their Tony Hawk franchise and really pour their teams into that, making it the best thing it could be. And they felt like they were getting split creatively and trying to also handle the Spider-Man stuff. So in a big win for us at Treyarch, we got to work, start doing that what was going to be the 3rd Spider-Man game after Enter Electro. We are busily trying to learn their engine. It's different than ours. They do things differently. Game mechanics, how you load the art in, everything would be, completely different and unique to Neversoft and their engine. So our teams are basically trying to learn it. And we're a few weeks in, and we're trying to come up with our own story. We were going to be allowed to have whatever, within reason, whatever Marvel characters we wanted in our game, as far as the bad guys go, for the most part. We couldn't have other, with some limited ability to maybe have some other cameos, but those would have to be special approval situation kind of stuff. So we started a story. It was kind of myself and the producer of the game's idea to kind of do sort of a Sinister Seven, or what is it, Sinister Six, kind of game with all of the bad guys like coming into the city, so that we could have an excuse story-wise to have all of these bad guys that you would have to like fight throughout the game. That was kind of our idea for it, because we were working with another company's engine, trying to learn it and get used to it and its workings and how to make really great stuff with it. Also having this ability to make this our own unique Spider-Man game, third in the series, have whatever bad guys you want. So we started working on a story of, all these bad guys coming into the city, and we were maybe a month or so, 6 weeks into this process of developing our own sequel to Inter-Electro. And that's when word came through from Activision that they had secured the license or the rights to do the movie game, and that our game was now becoming the movie game. And that beyond that, this game was going to be released with the movie, like pretty much day and date. Turned out to be like a week or so before or something like that. But essentially it was going to be a simultaneous release. And there was a lot of pressure to make sure it hit simultaneously. No delay in this game. It's not coming out 6 months after the movie. It's going to ship with the movie when it comes out 6 months from now. Well, 6 months isn't a terribly long time for making a video game. Even back then, that was a very rush. That was more of like a port kind of schedule than a new IP thing, especially a big, flagpole tie-in like a Spider-Man movie game, right? So working with a really accelerated schedule, lots of pressure for a huge, big new movie coming out in 6 months with an engine that wasn't ours.
That's crazy.
Right? So that's kind of, and at this time we were in El Segundo. Right around this time, we're moving our whole shop to Santa Monica. We're moving into an office park in the same location where Activision is located, like basically a building away. And so as a company of around, I'm going to guess around 100 people at this point. I'm not exactly sure. Don't quote me on that part of it. But we were roughly we had grown from about 8 people up to roughly around 100 people. And we were moving from El Segundo, California to Santa Monica. Our Santa Monica offices where this game would finish, and also like ship a movie titled game tie-in in 6 months with an engine that wasn't ours. So that this is going to, I'll point back to this comment when you ask some of your, some of the other questions that we get to about, why certain things happened. 6 months, not our engine. It's going to ship on this date. Get it done is really kind of like going to drive a lot of the conversation.
Yeah.
That's it. So that's kind of where it was at. Like we were very excited to be getting Spider-Man. We had been doing some ports. Our own IP products had done okay enough to keep us getting work, but they hadn't really taken off huge at that point. As we moved into the Santa Monica office, our company started to split into different groupings, as opposed to like the entire company working on like one project at a time kind of thing. And that's when Minority Report was happening and starting to happen, and had more of a full cycle. So I know you commented earlier that I worked on Minority Report. I was given thanks from Treyarch because I was the studio art director. I didn't really work on other than like some technical help as far as using our game engine and things like that for the team. But I was focused on Spider-Man, and that was more of just a thanks for helping on Minority Report. Minority Report was happening while Spider-Man was happening in our studio at that time. We're starting to ramp up at the same time.
If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, support the channel on Ko-fi and Patreon. And if you didn't enjoy the video, like, comment, subscribe, support the channel on Ko-fi and Patreon. Right, good luck.